Today I'm working on the Subaru Fender. Not sure what caused the damage. Customer, I believe, stated parking lot, so it must have rubbed up against it. So I'm gonna spruce this up for her, and she could be on her merry way. So I heated up the metal using my torch, and this heats up the paint, makes it more flexible, and it also makes the metal easier to move as well. Next thing I'm doing is putting some tape over my mallet, and that's to protect the paint from getting little marks from my hammer. This is not a polished hammer, so this is just a regular craftsman hammer. So here I'm putting some pressure on the backside of the dent, and I'm using my hand to do that. Sometimes I'll use a tool for this, but I'm using my hand because it's a much larger surface. Now if you were to just push this damage, you would be able to push part of this damage from behind the panel using your hand, and a large section of it would come out. However, you would be left with that buckle at the top, and to make it flow better, what I'm doing is making it so that the damage will roll in from the buckle into the center of the dent. That's what I'm doing here. And again, just warming everything up with the torch. Now, usually in a shop scenario, I'd have a heat gun going on this. Sometimes in a mobile setting, I'll do that as well, but it wasn't necessary because it's not that cold out today. So this continued on for about 10 minutes or so. I got the bulk of the metal up and out, and you're left with the remainder of it to tool once this is done. And this is very common for Subaru Fenders to dent here. That body line isn't all that rigid, so it can push in a large area of damage pretty easily. It could have been a shopping cart that hit this, and it would have caused this big drastic area to be pushed in. Alright, so here's what we're at. Basically, the majority of the dent has been pushed out, and we're left with that buckle at the top, as well as the sharper impact at the center, as well as a buckle on the bottom. And so the next step I'm going to do is get a tool behind this and start working that with the tool. Now that I've raised up the body line, I am going to hammer the top buckle towards the body line, and then I'll basically come in and get the lower section and hammer that towards the body line as well. Basically, I come back in now with a tool, pick out any of the small lows that are left over, and it's basically a combination of tapping the lows down and raising the metal, and then basically off camera, I flip the board around to the opposite side so that you can get a view from both angles. You really want to have 360 view, so you want to have the board on the left side, the right side, up top, down the bottom, and that way you can catch all the different areas of the damage. So that's what I'm doing here, picking out all the lows, and then I'll go back and I'll blend it out with the hammer again. And between the knockdown tools that I use, as well as the blending hammer that I use, I can get all those areas fixed. Thanks for watching today. I will put some links down below for the tools that I used to repair this vehicle. And you can see we got good results here. It actually is a leased vehicle, which the customer was just looking to improve to make the damage so it wasn't noticeable for when they go to turn it in. So we obviously achieved that with no problem.